right, we're back. This is the Mean Girls podcast. It's our second episode. That's right. Yeah.
Only two. It's
There's
hard to
only
keep track of.
It's not that hard to keep track of. When it gets to be like 35, I'm just going to start making up numbers. I'll be like, oh, this is our 407th episode. And nobody will even know. They won't notice. They don't care. Anyway, we're the Mean Girls. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Stephanie.
And we are sisters. And we live in the Pacific Northwest. And that's us. Hi, here we are. So if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. If you are checking us out for the first time, hi, and sorry. Apologize in advance for the ridiculousness that's going to happen here today. Maybe not.
Oh, sorry.
I'm drinking. Keep talking.
Oh, sorry.
God,
I was thinking about my kids. I was listening because
there.
I was like, oh my gosh, are my kids coming back out?
We are not professionals.
We're not. So we already apologized though, so I don't feel like I need to do that again. I'm just sorry for this whole thing. If you hear a door open and close, it's because they're my kids. I have two of them. I have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I have 5 kids, and I was respectful enough to not bring them today.
I didn't have a choice.
We're
at my
podcasting
house
from her house today, so
they're here.
My kids might show up later. Anyway.
Kids have.
So,
I'll tell you.
So we knit. This is a podcast about knitting, and we talk about fiber and all the fun things that we're doing. But first, we have to start with what we're drinking.
Oh, yes.
What do you have today?
I have a Zion's energy drink in the cherry lime flavor. These are so good, guys.
And I have
a
Zion's in Frostberry Blast. It's kind of sour. It's really more different than anything I've ever tasted before as far as energy drinks go.
They're a little bit different, but I like them.
I love energy drinks.
I do too. Like we said in our first one, we're not really huge tea drinkers. I drink tea in the evening, but and she hates it.
I drink energy drinks pretty much exclusively. Soda, energy drinks, caffeine of any kind. I got a lot of kids. That's what I do. So anyway, what have you been up to this week, guys? I haven't really seen what you've got going on.
Projects or?
Yeah, let's just jump right in.
So, while we were waiting for our last video to upload, I, for the first time ever in my life, guys, finished a pair of socks. I have a pair.
Wow.
They match. They fit perfectly.
Now, what went wrong here?
I don't know. As a whole, I haven't.
No, wait.
The Kitchener.
Went wrong.
This went wrong.
The Kitchener went wrong.
So this is kind of a jacked object.
Jacked object. We
and a faux, so it's like a Joe faux. Because I have where I did my Kitchener stitch backwards, so I have a garter ridge on the outside of my sock.
Good job.
Didn't care enough to rip it out and fix it. I just wove in my ends, and you know what? It's my first pair of socks ever. They were destined to be Joe's. I don't know.
They are cute though.
So, this pattern is the Susan B. Anderson How I Make My Socks. Sorry guys, I was looking for the label because I didn't have it last time for you guys. And the yarn is Cedar Hill Farm Company, 100% merino, and the colorway Sydney.
You know, I accidentally mislabeled this in our show notes. I couldn't find Cedar Hill Farms. I wrote Cherry Hill Farms instead because that's the yarn I could find. So
we'll put the right one in the show notes.
Well,
but no, it's Cedar Hill Farm Company.
In the Sydney colorway. Gorgeous.
Yes. So guys, I have a pair of socks. They fit.
Getting closer it gets worse. Cute.
Yeah.
Do you wear them?
I haven't yet because I didn't want them to get gross. We live in Washington. I'll wear wool socks year round.
You know, I know that you said before that you don't like slip stitch.
I don't like the slip stitch.
But I think that looks so pretty because you're such a tight knitter. It looks like Fair Isle. I don't know. I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it turned out okay. I cast on another pair of socks because, like I said in the last episode, I'm bound and determined to enjoy this because I feel like this is what knitters do. They like socks in the summertime. And I'm going to do a different heel. You know what I love
about knitting socks is that they're really super portable, but I don't like knitting in the car. Because I have this thing where every time I'm in any situation, anytime I'm awake, I'm thinking, how am I about to die? What's going to happen that's going to kill me? And when I'm knitting in the car with double-pointed needles, I'm like, okay, one accident, and that's all it takes. And this is going straight through my heart, and I'm going to be done. It's over. So I don't really get into the whole car knitting as much as
I
other
sometimes
people do.
think about that, like, wow, that would really hurt, but I don't think about it going directly into my heart and kill me. I'm just like, man, if we get in an accident right now, I'm going to have some new piercings.
That would really hurt. But it could go into your eyeball, you know, because sometimes you're, like, looking to see what you did.
Well,
I don't know. I worry about that. Maybe other people don't, but I do.
No, I just think I'm going to get some new piercings. So, I think that would hurt.
Right in the heart.
Thug life. I live dangerously. Live life on the edge. I knit in the car.
I don't live on the edge.
So, in fact, like, I try to get my husband to drive places so I can get knitting done. Like, we went to Portland. I'm like, are you driving? And he's like, well, I thought you would drive.
What?
And I was like, he's like, why? And I was like, well, because I need to know whether to wind my yarn or not. He's like, oh, okay, I'll drive. And I'm like, yay.
That's awesome. I know. Good for you.
I know.
No, we went to Portland, and I thought of all the ways we could die. In fact, we were standing in line at the amusement park, and I was thinking, like, you know how we could die right now? What if gravity disappeared? We didn't have any. We went floating off into space, and we would die.
Grab
Horrible
something
death.
on your way.
Right, I was thinking. I literally was sitting there thinking, should I grab onto the rail right now? Because what if gravity stops happening, and I float off? I don't want.
Well, the rail would probably fly too.
No, because it was secured to the ground.
Well, then.
See, but what happens if it only disappears for a couple seconds and you go up like 100 feet, and then you fall down to your death? That would be horrible. But then I told Neil about that later, and he was like, "That's impossible, dummy." We didn't say dummy, but I'm sure he was thinking it. I would have. He's like, "That's not
I was
gonna
thinking
happen."
it as you were telling me that, but it's never gonna happen, dummy. Okay.
Anyway, the point is that double-pointed needles could kill you. You need to be careful.
I knit in the car, guys. Live dangerously. Live life on the edge.
I don't live on the edge.
Knit in places.
No.
So yeah, that's my foe and my Joe for this week because of my toe.
Stop talking. Okay. I have a finished object, and I showed it off last time, but I finished it. It's my pure joy, and I have not woven any ends, because why would I do that?
Love this.
It's so soft. This is Madeline Tosh in the Gemini Twins and Baltic colorway, and it is forever long. Do you think I should block this? It's really big already. Like, it's huge. Would you block it? Because I don't want it to stop being so squishy. And I'm also afraid that it's going to bleed. Not going to leak.
Well, let me see this end. You could...
Don't look at that end too close.
No, what would you do?
I messed up a couple. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, you cannot. You'd be fine not blocking it.
Yeah, because it's already ginormous.
Yeah. And
it's soft, and I don't want it to bleed.
Because I blocked mine, and it was little...
But I washed this blue yarn before I started knitting with it.
We're back, guys. We realized that we forgot to tell you guys where you can find us.
Right, we didn't give out any of our social media information. It'll all be in the show notes anyway, but we're just going to throw it out there because we're new at this. We're amateurs, and
we already apologized for this episode.
That's right. So it's on you.
Sorry, it's kind of coming in here
in a weird spot.
But so you can find us on... We have a Ravelry group called You Can't Knit With Us, and if you search Mean Girls Podcast, it should also pop up. So join us over there.
Introduce yourself. Say hi.
On Ravelry, my username is Heyitsstephanie. So you can contact me or find me there and look. I don't know. Say hi. And then on Ravelry, you are.
I'm Heyitsrebecca, Rebecca. So that's me there. I'm not that interesting on Ravelry. And on Instagram, I'm Heyitsrebecca. So it's kind of the same. Not really.
And on Instagram, I'm Heyitsstephanie 05.
05, yeah.
05. So it's kind of similar.
And then our Instagram for our official Instagram for our podcast is TheMeanGirlsKnit.
Yeah.
I think. It's going to be in the show notes. I don't know why we're adding this in the middle. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should just add it in. Because this is weird.
But we already told everybody we were going to do it in the middle. Spoiler alert! You get to the end, we're going to tell you it's already here after you've already watched it. Didn't want to ruin the ending of the podcast, guys, but there it is. The ending, we talk about this. I'm not even going to apologize again.
Okay, all right. And then, sorry for this interruption, and now we will
back to
the
your
show.
knitting content.
We're back. Okay, so Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli. Super fun to knit. Oh my gosh. I was really sad when it was time to bind off because I really loved knitting every little bit of this.
If you haven't knit one, guys, you really have to. I know it's like really popular right now, but
look how good it looks when you like put it on.
It's beautiful.
It's always beautiful, no matter what you do with it, and it just looks great all the time. Of course, everybody's probably thinking that doesn't actually look great, but you know what? I wasn't really trying.
It looks great.
Anyway, it looks great.
It's beautiful. You did a good job. It's so squishy. I love that blue.
I'm so excited that I have one. I love it. Yeah, you do need to order some. This blue is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, look. No, that's not quite right. It's all faded out. Anyway.
Sorry.
Whatever. That's my finished object, and it's not a Joe.
Well, good for you.
It's a faux.
Well, aren't you just braggy over there because my faux is a Joe?
My faux's not a Joe. It's great.
No, your faux is perfect. Give it perfect faux. So, yeah. So,
what else you got?
So I got some 2 works in progress. So, like I mentioned earlier, so if you saw the last episode, you saw that I was planning on casting on some socks out of the 3 Irish Girls Adorn sock. 80% merino, 20% nylon in the Ainsley colorway. And I did. This is what I cast on our trip down to Portland. I thought about doing the blueberry waffles, but I didn't for multiple reasons. One, I was in the car, so I didn't want to I wanted some easy, mindless knitting so I could enjoy people watching in Portland. So awesome place to be watched.
So weird.
So weird. And I decided to try Magic Loop for the first time for socks because I thought, well, maybe I don't like it because it's double pointed needles. So, new technique there. And it's working pretty good. And also because I'm going to try to do the Fish Lips Kiss Heel on this one. So I was like, maybe I just need a plain vanilla while I'm trying to learn these 2 new things.
That is gorgeous. I was really unsure.
It looks like a party.
I was unsure about this yarn when you first bought it. You know that. I was like...
Yeah, she was like, why would you do that? That's pretty true to color right there. It is so...
I love the way it's knitting up. It does look like a party. It is super fun.
So...
Good for you.
Thank you.
That is super fun.
It's going good. And I'm just doing, again, Susan B. Anderson's... That's kind of the pattern I'm referencing. 64 stitches, size 1s. Magic Loop this time.
Really pretty. Really pretty.
A 2x2 rib. Seriously, nothing fancy. I'm just hoping to make my second pair of completed socks. But don't get your hopes up, guys. This is going to take me a while.
Those are fun.
I'm doing a shorter cuff. I'm going to just do a 4-inch cuff as opposed to a 6-inch cuff. So I'm almost done with the cuff. I'm almost to the heel.
Hey, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So this was my Portland knitting.
It's very, very fun.
Hopefully. We'll see.
So I did some car knitting. I know I just talked crap about car knitting and how scary it is, but
hang on 1 second. No, I'm trying to tie goose for the first time.
Oh.
That's my magic.
Good for you.
I went to the yarn store and I bought them just for that.
You are so smart. You are so smart because I don't have size 1 circular needles, so I am actually knitting.
Oh, you're knitting on the...
I'm knitting with double pointed needles.
You should try goose. They're really nice.
I have some.
Oh.
But they're size 9s.
Oh. Well, that's size 1s are my first try goose.
I really like them though. Anyway, so I'm doing this whole double pointed needle mess. It's awful. It's awful because I don't have size 1 circulars. So it's kind of a problem. Anyway, but my car knitting is the Raindrop Sweater by Tin Can Knits. You cannot see that at all. Oh. Okay. This is my Christmas sweater for my...
If you come over here by my face.
1-year-old daughter.
Is that better?
Or she'll be 1. Yeah. She'll be 1 around Christmas. So this is her sweater. It's made out of Madeline Tosh Tart. It's the Raindrops pattern. And I'm doing it on size 3s. Thank you.
so pretty. I haven't seen it this far.
You haven't seen it? Yeah, no. I just started knitting it on our trip. And I've knit almost this entire thing in the car. I'm actually about to bind off. This is the bottom. And I knit it a ½ inch too long on accident because I wasn't paying attention.
Why read a pattern?
Why read a pattern? You don't need to do that. But I do have a sleeve done. There's a whole story about why I have a sleeve done and not quite the whole bottom. Well, I guess I knit it a ½ inch too long. But it's fine. It's going to be fine.
It'll be cute with leggings even if it's longer.
Yeah, it's a ½ inch too long. But I think it's going to be gorgeous.
It's
I'm
so
just kind of
pretty.
sad you can't really see the color. No, it's gorgeous. Anyway, it'll be blocked out. It's going to look a lot better. And so it's got some lace. And I was really worried about the pattern because the pattern page says something like, oh, it's got random yarn overs to make the lace on the thing. And I was like, oh gosh, I hope that they don't expect me to make random yarn overs because that's going to look awful. Like, I was super worried about it. And it's a paid pattern. And I was like, I don't want to pay for this pattern. And then find out, oh, you have to do random.
You have to do math.
You have to do it yourself. Like, oh, just put a yarn over wherever you feel like it. Really worried because that would look awful. But it doesn't. It's not like that at all. It tells you exactly where to put them in a pattern that's easily memorizable. So, but it looks random. But it's not actually. There's a pattern for it.
It's so pretty.
So thank you. I'm really excited about it. So this is her Christmas sweater, and it's going to go with the flax that I made out of that pink, the berry pink. I didn't bring it, but it was in the last episode. So yeah, there you go.
So pretty.
Thanks. I'm pretty excited about it.
It looks so pretty on her.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. I can't not wait to get that blocked and done.
So I am making just stitch marker for my 5-year-old son.
I didn't show off my stitch marker.
Oh, well, you can when we got. Okay. So for my son, I am making flax for my 5-year-old son. It's all squished up on the needles. Sorry, guys. But it's pretty.
You just started that?
I just started this yesterday.
Okay.
So, and I'm just almost to the. I got a few more rows before I am able to separate for the sleeves.
You have to knit 6 rows before you separate for the sleeves.
I know, I read the pattern.
I did not do that.
But I did not read the pattern to begin with because I just kind of glimpsed at the cast on and it said knit the rib. It's a free pattern by Tin Can Knits. And it was like knit the rib for what I just skimmed because the bold said 1.5 inches. So I'm knitting along and I measure and I got just a little over an inch and I look back at the pattern and it was, no, for adult sizes, 1.5 inch.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And kids is an inch. So I was like, well, my kid's pretty big. I don't think it matters that it was only like 1 or 2 rows longer than an inch.
No, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll probably be okay.
It'll probably be okay. Thug life. I don't know. So.
That's really nice. That's already working up really soft. It's a lot softer than the one I made.
So, and it is the Barocco Vintage. It just says color 5146. I am not sure what the color is, but it's this really pretty blue teal.
Yeah, it's like a tealy blue.
Oh, it's
not
kind of
quite
right
teal,
there,
but not quite blue.
Yeah, kind of right there is kind of close to the color.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color.
Thank you. So, and this is, what's it made out of? 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. And it's machine washable, which is something he definitely needs a wash and wear sweater. So, and he picked the pattern. And so that's where I'm at. So hopefully by next week I'll have.
It is an awesome pattern for somebody who's never knit a sweater before. Me. I'm not very familiar with sweater construction, so I was really excited because I know that they did this as part of like a learn to knit type thing. So it's really great if you've never knit a sweater before, but I recommend printing out the pattern and then highlighting all of the numbers that you need, because the nice thing is it's written from size like newborn to like size 4XL in adults. But there's a lot of numbers. You know, it says things like cast on however many stitches, and then there's a list. So it's wonderful because it can be knit in so many different sizes and it's so easy and it really walks you through everything. But at the same time, it's easy to get confused because if you're not super paying attention. like me with my sweater, I thought I was supposed to knit 7 inches.
Yeah, I
wasn't paying attention.
Every
It's all my fault. You know.
Every sweater I knit, I will print out the pattern and highlight the things. Just for I want to be able to quickly look down and be like, okay, I need 52 stitches for whatever. That's obviously made up numbers. So nothing to do with this, just so you guys know. And it makes it.
But there are a lot of numbers on these patterns, and so.
But a lot of sweater patterns that are multiple sizes are that way. I knit my mom from way back for Christmas last year. Beautiful pattern, written beautifully, charted, beautiful lace panel on the back. But same thing, it's across multiple sizes, and they're all in the same section. So.
Yeah, but this is newborn to 4XL.
Yeah, so there's a lot, even more.
Like tons of sizes.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's great advice.
With this one, you need to do that more than other ones.
So hopefully,
it's going to be
next week I'll be at least on the body, if not. That is flying, because it's worsted weight on size 8 needles. It is just flying off.
Mine's fingering weight on size 3, and I'm almost done, but, you know. Good job.
I had a busy week.
Yeah.
And I just bought that yarn on Tuesday. I just cast on yesterday.
Yeah, you're doing good. Good for you.
Oh, thanks. Yay, me.
I don't have any other...
No,
I'm just working on that sweater. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, well, aren't you boring? One whip. Anyways.
What about you?
I
have 2. You have 2
whips.
You have socks.
Actually, 3. I have my sock blanket, but I think I'm going to rip it out.
Well, you haven't showed it.
I haven't showed it. So I started a Cozy Memories blanket like 2 months ago. There's the free pattern on Ravelry, but I don't even really know why I'm showing this to you guys, because I'm going to just rip it out, I think.
Yeah, your squares are really small.
They're so small, it's going to take me 20 years to like finish this thing. So I'm going to go up like, 2 needle sizes. I think this was on size 2s. I'm going to go up to probably, I think, 4s. And restart all of that.
I would.
And do a slip stitch edge so it's easier to pick up stitches and you don't have like this.
You didn't do the slip stitch edge?
I didn't do the slip stitch edge, and you can tell.
Yeah.
From the back. So, yeah, start ripping it out. Don't really know why I showed you that. To show you another Joe. Another Joe, guys. Just trying to make y'all feel better about yourselves.
Gosh, people should feel really good about themselves when they watch our podcast. Like, here's my Joe, and also, I didn't brush my hair. So if you're sitting here with no makeup and unbrushed hair watching our podcast, you are in good company, because...
My hair's still wet from my shower this morning. At least I bathed, so you're welcome. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can put that down now.
Yeah, it's... Sorry, guys.
Yeah, what did you get? You got something exciting.
I did. So this week I bought the yarn for my son's sweater. And then we went to Portland for the day. Well, she was there longer. But my husband and I and my kids, we joined them just for the day. And we stopped at a local yarn shop in Portland. Which, by the way, Portland has a lot of yarn stores.
A ton of yarn stores.
I'm like, wow. There was
we only
so
went to one.
Many. Yeah. We need to do like a Portland yarn crawl one day or something.
I think they do one.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because we're only 2 hours away from Portland.
One day when we're millionaires.
Yeah, you have to be millionaires. So... Do you remember the stores that we got this at?
Dublin Bay.
Okay. So we're at Dublin Bay, and we go there specifically because they sell hedgehog fiber. Ooh. And the closest yarn store that carries, I'm going to say it's 2 hours away, but Portland's 2 hours away. But I didn't go down there just for this. So I was like, oh, while we're in Portland, 3 yarn shops carry hedgehog fibers. So I got hedgehog fiber sock in the swamp colorway. It is gorgeous, guys. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something great.
How many yards is it?
Not very many, honestly. I was kind of sad about that. 400 meters. Oh, so no, it's pretty good size. Never mind. It was a different yarn.
I don't know what that is in yards, but you have enough for a pair of socks.
I have enough for a pair of socks, but honestly, I think I'm going to knit like the sock head hat or something.
Yeah.
Because I love the color. I don't want to
greens and golds. And yellow, kind of. Yeah, that's really pretty.
I love this color. So excited. But I went into Dublin Bay, and I'm going to be kind of a mean girl. I walked in, and they just...
Are you going to call people out?
I am. I'm sorry, Dublin Bay. You're a small shop, and you have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful yarn. I walked in, 2 workers. They didn't say anything to me. Didn't greet me. Nothing.
Well, you're just going to call people
I am. I'm calling you out, Dublin. I'm sorry. You have beautiful yarn and everything like that. But we was in there for like 20 minutes. Nobody said anything to me. Not one word. And I buy my yarn. And they were super nice at checkout, but...
I think a lot of it is just like a stereotype. Like, we don't match what people think knitters should be, so maybe they think we're just tourists just wandering in.
Maybe.
But it's a bad assumption to make, because we actually do know what we're talking about.
And
and we buy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and you bought your awesome stitch marker.
I bought several stitch markers.
Yeah, so it's not like, and we weren't in there for hours, guys. We were in there we had all of our kids in the car. We just ran in. I knew I wanted to hedgehog. I've never knit with it. So I really wanted to try it, and I was down there anyways. And I love the colorway. And they were nice when we checked out. It's not that they were rude. I just feel like a greeting could go a long way.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I had to mean girl it up.
That's fine.
I love the yarn, but
you know what? It's the truth. It's the truth.
I was disappointed that they couldn't.
But you know what? While we're being mean girls about yarn stores, I guess, since we're calling people out, I went to Squim, the local yarn shop, I think is what it's called in Squim.
Mm-hmm. Do they have hedgehog fiber?
Their website says they did, but they didn't have any in stock. Oh. But it was the same experience, where like I walked in and I was with my sister-in-law, and nothing. She didn't acknowledge us at all. Like, nothing. She just sat in her corner knitting like we weren't even there. And it was kind of like, you know what? I really do know I'm going to buy something, and I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm looking for. And I don't know. But it seems to be a really common experience. Like, I read about that a lot. Like, people are online talking about, oh, I went to, this yarn store, and they were pretty dismissive. But,
like, if you're not local to the yarn store, they don't really want to talk to you. But my favorite thing to do on vacation is to go to different yarn stores, because they all carry different things, and I love trying new yarns.
Absolutely.
Like, I was in Portland, I'm like, Portland has 3 stores within a 10-minute radius of me that sell hedgehog. Dublin was the closest, so we ran over there. They had parking. They had a beautiful store.
Beautiful store.
Beautiful yarns. Like, honestly, I sat there for a little bit trying to, like, think, oh my gosh, how many hedgehog fibers do I buy? Do I, what? But it just, I would have felt more welcome there if I had gotten a greeting. That's all.
Yeah. And while we're calling out yarn stores, I went to the yarn store in Tillamook, Oregon. And they were nice.
You went to a lot of stores.
Yeah, I did, I know. But they were super nice there. But you know what I really don't like? And it's not really the yarn store's fault. So I'm just going to say that. But I don't like when I walk into a yarn store and there's a knitting group going on. And you open the door and you can hear that they're talking. But as soon as you step in the store, they stop. And they just sit there in silence and knit the entire time you're shopping. You're making me feel like I just walked in on your family dinner. Like, say something. And obviously, maybe they're talking crap about other knitters. Or maybe they're talking crap about people in the neighborhood. I don't know. But come up with something to say. Like, oh, my son got A's in geometry yesterday. I mean, there's things that you can say when you're in that situation to make it a little bit less awkward. But I felt super unwelcome at that store because they were sitting there like, it felt like they were waiting for me to leave. So
see, and I can't stand that. Like, when I bought my Baroque stuff, I went and drove down. Oh, it's about, I went to a yarn store, not my local one, but one about 30 minutes away. And I got there right after they opened, and I had my nephew and my 2 kids with me, and I had already told them, like, don't touch, whatever. And my kids are pretty good about it at yarn stores, but I come into the yarn store, the lady there is, like, very welcoming. How can I help you? Hi, what are you knitting? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. She's talking to my kids. When do schools start? You're going to kindergarten. That's so cool. Like, my kids, this and that. And then she was like, hey, we have a basket of toys in the other room. Can they go play with toys? And I'm like, sure. So I spent a little bit more time in that store. I bought, I was like, oh, since I had time to think, I was like, oh, I'll buy my needles here for my socks. Like, very welcoming, very nice. And that store is called Yorkshire Yarns.
Oh, yeah, they're super nice.
Super nice. And, like, keep toys there and talk to my kids. And I didn't feel like... And she had somebody else there wanting yarn for her for a sweater. And they just kept with their conversation, but checked on me a few times. And I'm like, I felt very welcome. But when you don't talk to me and you don't even greet me with a hello, I'm like, I'm sorry, did I interrupt your day?
Right, exactly.
By supporting your local business.
Right. I love.
I'm gonna buy something. If I go into a yarn store,
absolutely,
there's a 99.9% chance I'm gonna buy something.
Something.
Because I want to support your shop.
Right. I'm a big believer in supporting local yarn shops. So it's disappointing when you go on vacation or you go to one that you're not used to and they aren't very friendly. That sucks. That happens a lot.
It does.
But
yeah. So that's my mean girl yarn store rant.
But
just say hi, guys.
There's a couple nice.
There are a lot.
Rainy
of
Day Yarns in Gig Harbor. Super friendly. Lakewood is super friendly. She taught us how to Norwegian purl.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, guys, look, you should check this out. It's super fast." And she taught us how to do it before we even bought anything, you know. So, and she didn't know us, but she was just super friendly. So, if you're ever in Lakewood, Washington, absolutely go to Yorkshire Yarns. They are fantastic.
If you're just driving through Washington off I-5, make the stop.
Make the stop.
It's
like
worth 10 minutes off the freeway. She is amazing.
And she's got a lot of stock.
She does. Well, that's where I had to go for my son's sweater because she always has like sweater quantities. Mm-hmm. No matter what, you probably are going to be able to find something. Yeah. But she carries a lot. I don't know. Love her. Love that. So.
But see, I'm a nice person. Like, I believe in supporting local yarn shops, even if they're not super friendly to me the first time I go in there. So I got this in Tillamook. I don't remember what it was called. I should have looked that up before I came here.
Sorry, I feel like that's like the lighting right there.
Yeah. So this is fingering weight merino tencel 50/50 400 yards. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make. Fingerless gloves, maybe.
Is it Alexander's Crafts?
Alexander's Crafts.
You should make something for Alex for Christmas.
Oh, I know, right? Not if she washes our pot. She's subscribed, so now I can't.
No, now you can't. Sorry, Alex. Don't get this.
Sorry, Alex. You don't get this. Really gorgeous though. It's like a shiny. It's got tinsel in it, so it's super shiny too.
It's beautiful.
So it's fun. I don't know. I saw on Ravelry some people made socks out of it.
Tinsel's pretty hard wearing.
Really?
Yeah. Like you can. It's harder to break.
I didn't know that. Okay, well maybe I'll make socks. Who knows? And then
I don't know if it's as hard as nylon, but I know like it's especially like when it's wet. It's like super. I don't know.
And then I got this in Squim at the yarn store where the lady acted like she didn't even see me.
This is
It's Plunge by Madeline Tosh. It's Tosh Merino Light, which is one of my favorite yarns ever. And yeah, it's just a pretty aqua. I think that I'm gonna buy it in the vintage base and make my daughter her Christmas sweater out of this color.
That would be so pretty. It would go too. See, we got.
Do they all go together? Kind of, yeah.
Sort of all jewel tones.
Yep.
Oh.
So that's that.
It's really pretty. I feel like that's like whatever the light coming in right there is like getting everything true to color.
And Plunge, how fun of a name is that?
That must be new. I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
So I think that's the color I'm going to use for my 13-year-old daughter's sweater.
So you guys, we support the business even though they're we're not that mean. We're not like
right.
No, I bought my hedgehog and.
But I give people grace. Maybe they just are having a bad day. Maybe you got a sore throat. I don't know what your problem is, why you're not talking to me. Or maybe it's because I don't look like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to knit. I don't know. But it's, yeah, it happens.
I don't know.
You know, and but I was talking to my boyfriend about this on the way over, and he was like, yeah, it's probably the way you look or whatever. And I'm like, well, the truth is it doesn't even hurt my feelings that bad because, remember Oprah in Norway? And that lady told her that, she's like, oh, you can't afford that purse, you know? So if it happens to Oprah, it happens to everyone. It's fine.
I'm not offended. So, it's whatever. I was just a little
sad.
I wish you had said hi and been more welcoming because then I'd be like, oh, that's a really cool store in Portland.
Right.
But it's okay. There's so many in Portland.
Well, they had some nice yarns and they had hedgehog.
They had hedgehog.
So
they had hedgehog.
And getting hedgehog, that is the place to go.
Yeah, Dublin Bay and Portland, and they had it a lace weight in hedgehog, and they had the sock.
Yeah.
So and they had
quite a decent selection.
Yeah. So definitely worth checking out if you want hedgehog.
Yep,
they had it. So that was that. So yeah, this week we went to Portland and took my kids to Seaside. Seaside doesn't have a yarn store anymore. It closed.
Really? That's depressing.
It's like a craft store thing, but it closed. So, but we went to Seaside, Oregon for the night, and then been a busy week, which is why I haven't as much knitting done. But this week's supposed to be slower, so more knitting time.
I got so much knitting time in the car. Because...
Yeah, you were driving.
We drove everywhere. We went Portland, Oregon coast, and then the next day we got home and we were like, oh gosh, we have to unpack all this stuff. Or we could throw it in the back of the trunk again and go to the ocean. Cooler was already packed. We got 5 kids. I know I've said that a million times, but we have 5. And we decided to go to the ocean at noon, and by 12:30 we were in the car going. Because everybody was already packed. The cooler still had food in it and ice, and we were like, all right, I guess we're going. So we went to Ocean Shores on 20 minutes notice. Why not? And then we came home and had to unpack, and it was sad.
One of the great things about living in the Northwest.
I love living in the Northwest.
You just pick up and go. You're like 2 hours from the ocean, 2 hours from Oregon. Oh no, we're 6 hours from Idaho.
So because we were so busy this weekend, did you even watch any podcasts? I didn't.
I did. I watched Mina's latest episode. But it was kind of, it was a good episode. It was just like more like a yarn haul episode. So it's just a really short, this is what I've picked up since I've been in London. That was really cool. I started catching up on my legacy knits.
They just started dyeing yarn.
I know. So I still have 2 episodes to be caught up.
On Instagram. I didn't actually.
And I'm all caught up on Grocery Girls.
I know, they need to put
I watched Grocery Girls this week. Thanks. I love them.
I love them too. Was it last episode? Was that their pajama party? Or was that the one before that? I don't remember, but it looked like super fun, and I wanted to have a pajama party with them.
No, it was the one before that, the pajama party, because that's the one where
they're so cool.
Jody shaved her nose hairs.
They are so cool.
I just want to be their BFFs. Let's see. And I don't know, Hey Sister hasn't put up. No, they did put up a new one.
Did they?
Not.
Oh.
Since the last time we podcast, so I watched Hey Sister podcast because I remember yelling at you for not telling me a new one was up. So I caught up on that one. So, and they are doing. Oh, and by the way, in case anybody's curious, Hohi released her hat pattern, and it is Happy Head, Cozy Head.
Are you sure it's Cozy Head?
Sorry, guys. Cozy Head, Happy Head. Oh my god, I still can't get it right.
You still messed it up, yeah.
But anyways, my goal this week is to buy yarn for that because
we have yarn box coming.
We do have yarn box coming.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much in case people don't want to.
Yeah, so we subscribe to yarn box. Okay, we didn't talk about that.
We never talked about yarn box. No, we didn't, but we do.
So,
but not, but yeah.
So, but anyway, so I'm getting yarn this week. Probably buying yarn and I want to cast on that hat and do the Hey Sister knit along.
Yeah, I need to do that.
And it's a Hohi new cabled hat, and it's beautiful. There's also, I don't know, let's see. I want to knit all the hats. I look terrible in them, but I want them.
You look good in hats. You look good in your Yes Checks hat.
Yeah, I wore that one on Portland. Yeah, it's August, guys, and I'm wearing a knitted hat.
It was cold.
And it wasn't a fashion statement. It was raining. It was cold. It was a total Northwest day. Yeah. And yeah, it wasn't.
It was cold. It was like 58 degrees and raining. It was awful.
Yeah,
but, so. Yeah. No, you looked good. It was fun. It was a good
I really like that hat. I'm kind of like, I need another one. All the Stephen West in my life. So, yeah, that was a week.
That was our week. What are your plans for this week? Oh, you're knitting that sweater.
Knitting the sweater. Get yarn for my hat. I don't know. Yeah. That's gonna work on my sock. Maybe start the fish lips kiss heel. I don't know. I'm pretty a monogamous knitter, so having 2 things on the needles is kind of like
living on the edge. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well,
good for you.
Sweaters aren't good car knitting.
I knit my sweater in the car.
Oh well.
It was easy.
Your sweater's like this big, so
yeah.
My son is like this big. Not really.
He's not really this big.
No, he's not.
He's 5.
He's 5. He's just the size of like.
Just a little big.
He's the size of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
He's the height.
What size are you making that sweater in? 10?
I cast on the ribbing for the 4 to 6 because I feel like that pattern has kind of a loose collar. But I'm going to knit to the 8 to 10 size. Just because my gauge is a little bit smaller. Not extremely, but a little bit smaller. And he's kind of right between those sizes. Like, his chest would be good for the 8 to 10, but his arms were more like the 4 to 6. So I'm kind of living life on the edge. And I do this a lot. It's a custom sweater. It's a custom sweater, awesome. And I do this a lot with my sweaters. Like, if I like this one yarn, but it calls for another yarn, I'll be like, okay, I'm kind of gonna... And it works for me. I'm pretty good at gauging those kind of things. So he's kind of having a Frankenstein of sizes.
No, it's gonna be great.
But it's gonna be a custom sweater
that's
for
awesome.
him. So that's
cool.
the size. And he's got a long torso, so he really needs 8 to 10 length. I don't know.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see
it. It's gonna fit him. It's gonna be great. So pretty excited.
So yeah, so I guess that's really it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for your nice comments. Pineapple Yarns reached out to us and said something really nice and encouraging, and so that was really great.
I want to buy some of her yarn.
Isn't it beautiful?
I think maybe that's what I'll get. Maybe I'll do that for the Cozy Yet Happy Yet.
Yeah.
Because she has some
They're
beautiful
so nice. Oh my gosh. And then the...
I've never used it, but you know what?
The Hey Sister podcast girls have pineapple yarn, and it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
We need to check it out.
I think I'm going to do that.
Let's do that after we're done with this. Let's go shopping.
I love yarn shopping.
I love yarn shopping too. Yay!
So, maybe I'll get that. So Cass, I'm gonna get some new things.
Yeah, so
I already showed you all my embarrassing Joes. I don't think I have anything else.
this was kind of a interesting episode.
I had kimchi for the first time this year.
Kimchi. Good for you.
It's good. Sorry.
I think we've officially run out of things to say.
We have, because now I'm talking about the really good food I had.
Oh, I love food. I love eating.
Oh, God, guys. It was kimchi.
Nobody's watching us anymore.
They're not.
You can talk about your kimchi. Go ahead.
Well, it was kimchi cucumbers. So it was like kind of mild, and which sounds really weird unless you've had it. But it was like the cucumbers were still crunchy. It was really good. We went to a beautiful, beautiful wedding reception last night, and the groom's mom like cooked so much food. So much food. There was like ribs and barbecue chicken and egg rolls and rice and kimchi cucumbers and all these sorts of salads. And it was just like this kind of mix of nationalities and food. Because you're probably thinking like, how do ribs and egg rolls go together? They do, guys. So good.
Last night for dinner, I had tortilla chips with a Rotel and Velveeta cheese sauce mix.
So very healthy. Very healthy.
We've been on vacation, and we didn't get a chance to go to the grocery store, so we kind of had nachos without... Yeah, it wasn't really nachos, it was chips and dip. And that's what we had. That's what your daughter had, too.
Cool. Sorry, guys. I just love food. And I was
just
talking about it
food.
because I was sitting here going, kimchi. And because... I don't know. You guys had to listen to everything that went through my mind. Sorry.
Nobody's watching anymore.
Nobody's watching.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about whatever we want.
Love food.
You know what? I love knitting and eating at the same time.
I do too. Like, I swear, guys.
If you ever get a gift from me...
There's probably food in it.
Probably Dorito crumbs in your sweater. Sorry, but it's just facts.
I feel like that's a knitter's problem, though. Like, we can't be the only ones that eat and knit. Like, at the same time, you're like...
Well, the way I figure it is that if I make a item for my children and there's Dorito crumbs in it, they're probably going to stick it in their mouth anyway. It might as well taste good. They might as well enjoy the things I knit them, right?
Right? Like, I'd rather knit... I don't want to stop knitting just to eat.
Right.
So
exactly. And I love eating. And I don't want to stop eating just to knit. I just want to eat all the time. So yeah.
If you get something knitted from me, chances are there's chips crumbs. There's... I think I was knitting on my sweater today, eating some cashews.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was... So there's probably some salt on it. Like, thank God for, like, washing and blocking. Because...
Yeah, but do you wash and block the things you make your kids? Like a hat or mittens or something? No.
I've only ever knit them mittens.
Did you wash and block them?
No, because they're going to do it.
No, you didn't do that.
Oh, I knit them hats, too. I sound like a mean mom. I knit them hats and gloves.
And my kids get stuff with Dorito crumbs in them.
Okay, thug life.
That's how it goes. Sorry, kids. Anyway, thanks for checking us out. It was super fun.
Yep.
And we need to do this again next week, next Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, family dinner.
Probably not.
No? Why? Are you not going to family dinner?
I'm going to family dinner.
Why?
Because I have...
You never go.
I do
Our family gets together once a month. We got like 7 siblings, but she doesn't go.
I go. I just... There's about once or twice a year that I miss.
You've already missed like 4 times.
I missed one time.
What do you have going on that is so important that you can't go to family dinner this week?
We're getting together with some friends. Okay, guys, you can judge me all you want. My entire family has Monday through Friday jobs. Everybody is off on the weekends. So they get 4 or 5 weekends a month. And only one weekend is family dinner. So that leaves them 3 or 4 weekends a month to do whatever they need to do on the weekend. My husband does not have that luxury. He gets 1 to 2 weekends off a month. So if we want to do anything with the outside world, we have to do it on...
What are you doing Sunday? The next day?
I may be going to the ocean. I don't know. We will podcast. What about Monday? Or Friday?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever podcasting with you again.
I'm sorry, guys. I have...
Your commitment level is too low for me.
Commitment level? What the... I'm committed. I'm here, and I'm saying Friday or Monday. Why can't you be a little bit flexible? Our viewers are probably flexible. Are you guys flexible?
Invisible.
Well, my sister's not talking to me because I'm trying to see the outside.
Maybe Friday. What are you doing Friday?
I'm not doing anything Friday.
Maybe we'll do Friday.
I'm not doing anything. Friday's great.
Anyway.
I mean, 6 days. Friday's fine. I don't think they'd mind seeing us 1 day sooner.
Yeah, maybe. Or we can upload it later.
I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry my husband has a weird schedule. He has a nice job. But we just... And he's also in the military reserves, and that eats up 1 weekend, and that's usually his 1 weekend off from his other job, so it gives us with 1 open weekend.
I don't think anybody followed that. Or cared, for that matter. I think that we...
Well, if you're going to give me crap, they're going to have to... We will be here.
I'm sorry.
Next week, guys.
I apologize for... Well, I already apologized for this episode. I don't have to apologize again. If you're still watching it, it's pretty much on you at this point, honestly, because we did apologize at first.
We're gonna get better, guys. If you're willing to hang in there with us, subscribe, and if you're curious if it's gonna get any better.
We could get better. It could happen.
It might. I wouldn't hold your breath. This is probably as good as it gets.
Probably.
We've just rambled on forever. So
yeah.
Hope you guys have a great week.
Yes.
And we will see you.
We didn't tell them how to get a hold of us. Or
we did
like
not.
That.
Would you like to know?
We're the worst failures ever. You know what we should do? We should stop recording now, make another video, and put it in the middle.
Oh, right where we had to stop. Perfect. All right, guys. So
we're gonna splice
that in.
Yeah.
So,
thanks for checking us out.
And we will see you next week.
Okay. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.